You're still sitting in your meadow. You're just allowing the sunshine to create a bond.
So hi Amber, I see you over there. Good to see everyone. So welcome to my home. We're recording from home today. And I just want to say, if you have blocks at home or books or anything that you might want to use to support your body in any of the poses we're doing today, you might want to grab a block. I always have pillows nearby. Those are great to use in yin. Also, if you have the playlist, if you're listening to my playlist, then let's see. You can start your song today on song, it's called Soothe. And the playlist is exclamation point, yin 2 hour. And that's on Spotify. Now, if you don't have my playlist, you can really just listen to anything you want to listen to, maybe something more soothing. I like to listen to musical, instrumental things. If you like to play some, if there's any kind of musical, or I'd say some soft sounds, if that's something that interests you, birds, lightning, you can really listen to any of those things. Just anything that you can do to keep your mind calm and your body calm. Yeah, we'll start. If you would like to go ahead and start lying down on your mat. I always like to start my classes. I like to use a pillow. So I'm just going to throw a couple pillows down because I have the option to do that since I'm at home. Yeah, I'm just going to put them nice and long. And then when you lie back on these pillows, begin to spread the legs maybe to the outer edge of the mat. Let the feet open up. Let the legs open up. Bring your arms open nice and wide also. And this is my little dog, Clark, if anybody sees him. He might be joining us for yin also today. So yes, as you begin to lie back, I just want to go over a couple little announcements. We do have some live stream workshops coming up. This Saturday coming up, I have a Restorative Yin workshop. So if anybody is going to be taking that, I'm going to try to make that a Zoom workshop that is interactive. So we'll be able to discuss intentions and mantras, things that we're working on in our lives, or maybe things that are upsetting us that we want to let go of. So yeah, if you'd like to join me for that. We have some other workshops coming up too. So just try, if you would, to just watch the Kula website and the emails and any workshops coming up. And yeah, just trying to be at peace and trying to just be one and here with your body. Now, I did want to mention also, we have 2 birthdays here tonight. Both of them were actually on the 3rd. One was Melissa, one was Amber. So I just want to say happy birthday to you ladies. Sometimes we forget when we have some crazy things going on in the world that your birthday is still really important. So just remember that, and I hope you had a great birthday. So yes, as you're lying down, just try to start relaxing the body, relaxing your mind. And if this is your first yin yoga class, there's 4 principles that I like to go by in any pose and every pose that we come into. The first one of those would be to relax your body. So you're relaxing, you're coming into your pose, you're coming into the perfect edge. And what I mean by your edge is how deep does your body want to go in the pose. So for this pose, for example, since this is the first pose we're taking tonight, maybe we don't want to put 3 or 4 pillows here because that's going to put a lot of pressure on the lower back. So just 2 long pillows, or maybe a flatter pillow would be good if this is the first back bend you've taken today. And depending, if you've taken a lot of back bends today, if this is not your first yoga class of the day, that's also, sometimes you want to be easy when you're first coming into these poses, especially if you have really worked your back a lot today. A lot of forward folds, a lot of back bends. Still just try to relax. So here we find your edge. How deep do you want to go? Relaxing your body, finding stillness. And then the fourth principle of Yin Yoga, as we move through the poses today, is when you come out of the pose, just always come back as easy as you can, coming out slow. Try to ease yourself out. When we're coming into these poses, we are stressing connective tissue and fascia in the body. So you're weakening that fascia a little bit because we're pulling it, we're stressing it. And you just want to be gentle when you're coming out. Maybe drink a lot of water at the end of class, or I should say after class, and just enjoy the rest of your evening. It's hopefully a relaxed, comfortable evening. So we'll take about maybe 5 more breaths here. And I will be timing our poses today. So if you see me on the phone, I am timing the poses. So for these last few breaths, just try to relax even deeper. Now, after we come out of this pose, we are going to come into a little bit of breath work, maybe some gentle meditation, some body awareness meditation especially. And you have about 3 more breaths. So if you hear me through class today calling out breaths, so I tend to call out breaths instead of minutes and seconds. So a breath would be 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. 5 breaths is about 1 minute of time. 10 breaths is about 2 minutes of time. And I generally hold these yin poses for about 3 to 5 minutes. And the workshop that I'm going to be teaching is more restorative. So we could be in those poses for longer than 5 minutes even. It's a more relaxed, easy pose. But tonight, 3 to 5 minutes. And this is a 90-minute class, and I will be doing a guided meditation at the end to help you relax and really become aware of what you're feeling emotionally, physically. Try to do that throughout your class today. Try to come back to your body. Be aware of what you're feeling emotionally as well as physically. So with that being said, let's exhale the air out of the lungs. Just roll over on your side. Move the pillows out of the way without getting up if you can, and just lie flat back down on the mat in a nice corpse pose. So just a flat Shavasana-like pose. Lie out, relax your shoulders, and just begin to feel all of your body. So what are you feeling as you're lying here? And this would be called like a resonance pose or a rebound pose. So if you can at home, if you don't have music playing, just try to find stillness and be calm. If you can, block out all the noises in the outer areas of the house or outside. If you don't have any music to listen to, maybe you can open a window and listen to the rain, the birds. And just begin to breathe deeply. Maybe taking that Ujjayi breath that we all know, that breathing in and out through the nose. And let's just take this 5-part breath. So as we take this 5-part breath, imagine the 5 parts would be pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, and crown. Okay, so pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown. The crown is the top of your head. So let's just take a deep breath in, breathe in. Exhale the air out of the mouth. Let it go. Now as you breathe in, allow the breath to come all the way down, pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown. Try to visualize the breath. Release. As you inhale, pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown. Release the breath. And you can reverse that thought process too, but try to visualize now. When you breathe in your next breath, you're inhaling the air all the way down. Pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, and crown. Just be aware of all those areas. Exhale the air out. Slow breath. Inhale, pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown. Exhale. Inhale the air in. See it go in. Pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown. Imagine your breath is filling your whole body. Release the breath. And now just coming back into your natural breath. Bring awareness into every part of your body. And as we lie here, and I'm going to lie down and do this part with you. Really want you to focus on every part of your body as I call out these body parts. And try to clench that body part as I call it out. Just bringing awareness to every part of your body. I want this practice that we're about to do to help you throughout the remainder of our yin class to really bring awareness into your body and what you're feeling. So as you're lying here, if your arms are not already out to the side, go ahead and release your arms to the side. Let's bring awareness now to your feet. Go ahead and flex your feet. Feel the pressure in your feet, maybe even curl the toes as you're doing it. Maybe flex the feet, point the feet. But bring awareness there. Feel your feet. Now release the pressure there and just notice how that feels. Coming now up to your calves. Squeeze your calf muscles. And even here, you can flex your feet as you're doing this to help really activate the muscles there. Feel all the feelings in your lower legs. Maybe even circle out the feet. How does that feel? Now release the pressure there. Let the legs open up to the sides. And now here, bringing your attention to your thighs, your upper legs. Squeeze the muscles in your upper legs. Squeeze your quadriceps. Maybe activate the hamstrings if you can. Take a breath. Exhale, release all that pressure out. Let the legs relax. Feel the upper legs. How does that area feel now? And just know, as we're squeezing and activating these muscles, the feeling you feel when you release that muscle, that's the relaxed feeling we're looking for throughout our yin poses. Now activate your glutes, squeeze your glutes. Notice the pressure there. When you activate it, how does that feel? Bring the attention there, release the tension, soften it down. Coming to your abdomen, your core, your obliques, all of your torso. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Notice the muscles. How do they feel when you squeeze them? Release, relax. Pause for a breath. And now coming up to your lower ribs as well as your chest. Squeeze it all, squeeze it all, squeeze. Release. Moving on to your shoulders, releasing your arms back to the sides if they've moved. Squeeze your shoulders, maybe even press them into the mat below you. That also is going to activate your back, your upper shoulder area, your rear delts, your front delts. Squeeze, 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 and relax. Notice the sensations of you relaxing your body. Moving on to the arms, we'll do all of the arms, starting with the biceps. Your forearms, squeeze all of it together. And now your hands, squeeze, make some fists. Feel the tension. Feel the strength in your arms, your body. Relax the rest of your body. You're only squeezing your arms. Now release. Let the hands go. Feel the sensations. Take a breath. Feel the air move all the way down your body to the tips of your toes. Relaxing every part of your body on the way. This feeling of relaxation, of softness in your body. This is what you want to feel throughout your class. So just know when we move into some of these poses, you will feel sensations that may feel like a dull, bitter achiness, a warming sensation, a burning sensation. Those are all normal things to feel in yin yoga. But please don't worry or feel like you have to rush out of a pose. It may be uncomfortable. See why it's uncomfortable. Is it uncomfortable because it's painful, or is it just uncomfortable because you're working the fascia? If it's just uncomfortable because we're doing something that your body's not used to doing, and just try to be there with yourself, be there through the discomfort. If it feels painful, it's always okay to come out, and please do. Stay away from anything painful. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and pull both of your knees into your chest. Feel your lower back round and flatten down as you pull your knees in. And just keep in mind, when you're taking any of these poses, if you don't look exactly like me, or if your body doesn't bend as deeply as mine may bend, don't feel any certain way about that, because your body is exactly like it's supposed to be. And sometimes when it's a little bit more tense, that's a good thing, because you can feel the depth that your body is going into. Unlike if myself in some poses, my hips are really open, so hard for me to know if I'm going too deep because the legs are so open or my hips are so open. So with these knees pulled into the chest, let's drop the knees over to your right side, keeping both of your shoulders on the mat. So taking a lying twist, keep the legs stacked on top of one another. As you're twisting over here towards the right side, I'm going to change a little bit of my position so you can see better if you're looking. My legs are to the right. My left shoulder is still on the mat. I like to give options here, different things you can do. Now I'm going to place a pillow between my legs just to support. That way my legs have not only some support, but my knees aren't knocking together, and I can relax a little bit deeper. This also helps my shoulder come closer to the mat. So as I'm twisting here, spinal twist, try to relax all the muscles in your spine. And I will be here for a little while, so I am going to start the timer. Just try to relax. Allow yourself about the first 3 breaths at least to find your edge, really getting in there. Really allow your core to relax, your lower back to relax. And if you haven't started any music and you'd like to, it's always okay to do that at any time, whenever it feels good. Now your head can be anywhere in the pose, and that's comfortable. The main intention of this lying twist is that we're wringing out all the muscles along the spine. So we're twisting our spine. We're twisting the fascia that runs along the spine. But also imagine the fascia, not only is it surrounding all the vertebrae, but it's also going around your back. So as you're twisting here, we're twisting that fascia around your spine, across your back. You're also here working the fascia around your shoulder as your shoulder is relaxing and dipping in towards the mat. You're relaxing the muscle across your chest. So you're getting that fascia that's running all the way across your chest, across your shoulders. And we are just about halfway through this pose. So if you're not relaxed, try to relax for the remainder of the pose. If you're noticing that all these things feel still uncomfortable, you can also place this pillow underneath both of your legs. You can fold a pillow, so maybe get yourself a little bit more height if that feels better. Always remembering that Ujjayi breath. Anytime you come back into your breath, back into your body, you are bringing awareness back to the present moment. There's no way for your mind to think about other things when your mind is thinking about your breath and what you're feeling. So here we have about 5 more breaths. So if you would like to go a little bit deeper in this pose, because there are some people that have now relaxed to their point with their legs together. So you can eagle wrap the legs, taking the top leg up and over, either staggering the legs or even wrapping an eagle wrap with both of the legs together. So by taking that eagle wrap, you are taking the twist deeper, and you may notice your shoulder lifts off the mat. That is always okay as long as your shoulder still feels good. We have about 3 more breaths. And this is your last breath. So breathe it in. Exhale it out. Don't move just yet though. Let the air come all the way out of the lungs, leaving the body. Pause at the bottom. Notice what you feel in complete stillness. Inhale, unwrap the legs if they're not unwrapped. Pull the knees into the chest. And just gently rock right and left on your spine, releasing all the tension in that lower back. Just pause here in the center with the knees pulled in. You might have your legs open a little bit. You may have your hands on the outer edge of the knees. Wherever you're at, just be still. How do you feel? Where do you feel the most sensation right now? Take a breath. Release that breath. Lower the knees to the left. Keep that right shoulder on the mat. Now I'll be twisting a different direction this time. So if you're looking, you might be able to see how my shoulder, when I first come into this pose, my shoulder does not quite want to touch the mat. So what I like to do is I open my arm up. That pulls my shoulder closer towards the mat. And by doing that, I'm then taking a lot of pressure into my shoulder, which feels, for me, feels really good. Starting the timer as well. So I like that sensation. I know it's then working the joint of my shoulders. I have really tight shoulders. So this feels great for me. It's also releasing some of the tension in my chest muscles. Now remember the option of placing a pillow between the legs to help support you. And as I place that pillow between my legs, that is then bringing my shoulders straight down to the mat. I don't know if you were looking to see that, but it really allows my shoulder to come down. So if that's the option you would like to take for this pose, it's always an option. But here, as we're twisting into these yin poses, just know we hold them for long enough that your body is going to make its way deeper into the pose. So that's why it's important to find the perfect edge at the beginning. Maybe not too deep, not too shallow. We call that the Goldilocks moment, the Goldilocks position. You're looking for that just right position in the pose. Your body is going to move deeper as we hang here in gravity. Gravity pressing the legs down. Gravity is also pressing the shoulder down, twisting you through the spine even deeper. And just try to be here in the moment. Try to clear your mind. Allowing yourself the next remainder of the class. About another hour of class. 60 more minutes. Just be here with yourself. Ignoring everything else in the world. There's nothing but you and me and everybody who's joined us for class today. And in these last, we've got about 2 more breaths before we move into the eagle wrap. And at the end of this exhale, if you would like to take the eagle wrap, if you took it on the other side, or even that stagger with the legs, whatever you took, let yourself be equal on both sides. So whatever you took on the other side, take on this side. You might hear us say that a lot. Whatever you take on one side, take on the other side. Finding balance in your life, finding balance in your body and your practice. But that doesn't always apply. So just remember, if you have pain on one side but you don't on the other, it is okay for this class especially, because we hold the poses for so long. It's okay to be a little bit easier, especially if it's a pain in a joint. And we have about 2 more breaths. Release the air. Last breath. Breathe in. Exhale, release that breath, but we're going to pause that breath at the very bottom. Exhale it out. Find the peace in the stillness. As you begin to inhale, unwrap the legs if they're not unwrapped. Pull the knees back into the center. Gently rock right and left on the spine. Release your spine. And from here, let's lift the legs up for a gentle waterfall pose. So just see how it feels first as we're moving into this waterfall pose. Maybe circle out the ankles a little bit or point and flex the feet. But once you're ready to find stillness in the pose, it's okay to bend the knees a little bit. If you're practicing with a pillow or a block and you'd like to place anything underneath your hips here, go ahead and place something underneath your hips. The only reason we really place something under the hips here is it does help to rotate your pelvis up slightly, and it helps your lower back to find more comfort, as well as it does help so your legs don't want to fall back down onto the floor. It helps you to relax the legs a little bit. That's what we're here for. We're all about relaxing into these poses, relaxing the body. I'm going to reset our timer. Just noticing how your legs feel. Notice all the sensations in the toes, soles of your feet. Just think now, where are your arms? Where was the natural, comfortable place your arms went? Where do they go when they don't think? My arms naturally want to fall out to the side with my palms up to receive energy. As we lie here in this pose, start to notice your natural breath. And what is your natural breath? Is it deep? Is it shallow? Do you find that your natural breath starts and ends in your upper chest, or does it make its way to your lower ribs or possibly even your diaphragm? Where does your natural breath flow? Does your body naturally want to close the eyes, or do your eyes want to stay open and wander around the room? And if they do, can you shut your eyes? And if you shut your eyes, what do you see behind your eyelids? I don't normally practice snail pose in my yin classes, but I would like to give you the last, we've got about 5 more breaths in this pose. If you would like to practice your snail pose for the last 5 breaths, bring your legs behind your head. Snail pose is the same as your plow pose. It's just called snail pose in yin because we hold it for a longer period of time. If you are taking your snail pose, try to relax your body. Try to relax your neck, making sure you're not putting too much pressure on your neck. Try to put the pressure in your shoulders. Slowly exhale the air out wherever you're at. And let's move out of that pose. If you were in your snail pose, slowly unwrap. We'll meet and waterfall for 1 full breath. Exhale the air out. Inhale. Exhale, bend at the knees. Lower the feet all the way down. Keeping the knees bent here, just let the feet touch the mat. Now, I still have my pillow underneath my hips. If you have a pillow nearby or a block, go ahead and place it under your hips if it's not already. We're going to move here. We're in with this pillow underneath of us in like an assisted bridge pose. So what we'll do next is we'll begin to walk the feet out with the pillow, with the block. And I've already started the timer, so allow yourself at least 4 breaths to really find that perfect spot. Now I'm going to inch my feet out because I would like a little bit more pressure in my lower back and across the front of my legs. I'm actually going to fold my pillow in half so my pelvis is higher off the ground. So you do what feels right for your body. If you don't feel like having anything under your pelvis and you just want to take your corpse pose here, that's always an option as well. As I extend my feet out, my hips, my pelvis is the highest part of my body now. And for me, I want even more tension across the front of my body. So I'm even going to bring my arms up over the back of my head so I can get a full stress across the whole front of my body. Once you find that position, now we're probably a good 4 breaths into this pose. So just start to relax. Remember that meditation we went through earlier where we squeezed and released all the parts of our body. Remember that we're relaxing the front of our pelvis. Try to feel the tension that's pulling across your rectus abdominis in the front, your hip flexors, your quadriceps. Now you're going to feel a compression in the lower back, especially if you have a higher lift underneath your pelvis. That's okay as long as it's not painful. The compression may feel like a pinching sensation, And that's okay as long as it's not painful, not stabbing. Just try to relax that area. See if that pinching sensation settles as soon as you relax. 5 more breaths. Try to breathe. Try to relax. If you find there's any part of your body that continues to tense up or squeeze, if your muscles tense and tighten, ask yourself, why is that happening? Is it happening because it's painful? Is it happening because it just feels a little bit uncomfortable? Try to release it. Bring your attention there. Ask it to relax if it won't. Sometimes our body tenses up out of fear of the unknown, fear of pain, fear of discomfort. Just knowing here that you are in a safe place for the next good hour of the class. Let's go ahead and begin to walk your feet up. Once your feet are flat on the mat, gently press through the heels. Remove that bolster or block from underneath your pelvis. Allow your hips to come back down. Once again, pull the knees in towards the chest. Release that lower back. And let's rock right and left. Softly, be gentle. Make your way onto fetal position, right side. Once you're in this fetal position, we'll just pause here, fetal position, for about 3 breaths. If you'd like to place your pillow underneath your head, go ahead, you can do that. Or you can just place both of your hands, palms flat together, finding stillness here. Relax, close your eyes. One more breath. Exhale, release that breath. I'm going to go ahead and start our timer so I can keep an eye on it. The next pose we're going to come into will be like a shoulder stretch. So I'm going to grab a block as well. For this shoulder stretch, take your right arm, reach it behind you. So your right arm is going to reach behind you, maybe at 90 degrees, maybe just below that. So coming into this shoulder stretch, and Yin, I call this pose open wing. So for me, you may see a lot of people in your classes and your Yang style classes with their leg bent here. I actually like to keep both of my knees together, just like your fetal position. I stack my knees together. I place a block underneath my knees to support my legs up. Here, I wrap my arm behind my back to get deeper into my shoulder. Now today, my shoulders feel pretty good, so I can keep my arm back there. But sometimes that hurts my shoulder, and then I just keep my arm stacked on top of my body. Remember, your right arm is the arm behind you. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep this pillow underneath my head just so I have support in my neck. Allow yourself those first couple breaths to find that perfect spot you want to be in. Where is your body right? What feels good for you? And never feel weird or bad about using props in any class, but especially in your Yin class. Because propping your body sometimes means that it's going to get your body deeper into the pose. because it's going to allow you to relax where your body can relax. And it's all about relaxing your muscles so we can get into your fascia, into your connective tissue, your tendons, maybe your ligaments a little bit. And breathe. We have about 7 more breaths. Maybe allow yourself to relax a little deeper on every exhale. Feel yourself get heavy. So the main area of tension or intention in this pose is your shoulders. Doesn't mean that's the only place that's getting worked. We're working your shoulders. Depending on where your neck is or your head, you could also be working the neck. If you have your head turned more up or down, you might be putting more pressure on your neck, and that's okay. Just as long as that feels good. Give ourselves 3 more breaths. In my classes, I always like to give you the options to stay longer in any pose. If this feels good and you want to stay longer, you can always stay longer and meet us on the other side when you're ready. Let's slowly unwrap that left arm. So we're going to come down, press the left hand into the mat, unwrap your right arm so it's no longer behind you. Pause here in your fetal position. If you have something under your knees and you'd like to remove it, just set it off to the side. Fetal position, 3 breaths. Two breaths. Last breath. Allow yourself to really take it. Fully inflate the lungs. Release mouth, nose, whatever feels good, all the way out. Get all the air out. So from here, we'll take prone shavasana. So that just means we're rolling onto the front half of our body. Rolling onto the front half of your body. We'll move into your Sphinx pose. I'm just going to turn to the side here more so you can see my body here from the side. In my Sphinx pose, my arms come onto my forearms. My hands and fingers are spread wide. So here I'm going to use a block, but please use whatever you have. You can even use a pillow here in front of you if that is what you have available at home. So here my legs are nice and wide. I begin by relaxing my glutes. So I'm going to start the timer so we can begin relaxing into this pose. So with my arms alongside, my shoulders on top of my elbows, now it's time to relax your shoulders. As you relax your shoulders, you might notice that your chest drops down between your arms. Remember, relax your glutes, soften the tension in your lower back, relax your shoulders, release the tension there. Now with this pillow or block or whatever you have, begin to lower your head down onto that pillow. The idea here is by placing something underneath or between your hands, your forehead can touch that, and then you can fully relax your neck. If your head is just hanging forward, you will eventually put tension in your neck. So you're going to tense the muscles in your neck just because your head is hanging for so long, and sometimes it becomes uncomfortable. So with that pillow, you're able to relax fully, relaxing the muscles. Now, if you're a person that comes into this pose and you have any lower back problems and this is painful in your lower back, the next option would be to walk your elbows forward a little bit farther. You can still relax your head onto the pillow in front of you. walking your arms just forward, it takes some of the tension out of your lower back. I like to be a little bit higher here. I like to relax my shoulders. So this gives me a good bit of sensation in my shoulders. Bring the attention to your lower back. How does it feel? Do you feel sensation there? And bring the attention to your shoulders. Are they relaxed? How do they feel? Working the fascia surrounding your shoulder joints. And just know that the fascia of the body, it's all connected. You are all connected. The fascia is its own soft skeleton. So yes, we are working the fascia around our joints, but we are also working that fascia that for here, for example, it's moving down your arms. It's moving across your upper back. It's moving down your lats, your trapezius muscles. So as we're here relaxing all of our body, we are getting into all this fascia, finding the benefit of all of those areas, even your elbows here, your wrists. Let's take 2 more breaths. Slowly fold over, down. Now, if you have a pillow, you can rest your head on that pillow. If you have a block, you can even have the block under your ear. And also, just move it out of the way. We're going to pause for a couple breaths. So maybe your hands are crossed under your forehead or your head. Maybe your arms are out behind you and you have an ear on the mat. Wherever you're at, relax and soften the muscles. Take a breath. Just notice for these next few breaths, are you relaxed? Is your mind relaxed? Are you able to settle your thoughts? Now we'll move into that shoulder stretch on the other side. So for here, since we are already on our stomach, let's just extend both of your arms out to an airplane. Now for here, we're going to roll over the left arm. So this is open wing, a yin style pose on your left side. Now I'm going to move into it backwards. I hope you can still hear me. As we roll over the left shoulder, left arm is behind you. The feet and knees, for me, I like to stack my knees together. So I'll show you this pose from the back side so you can see how my arm is in position. Right arm reaches behind my back. For here, I stack my legs together. I place a block under my knees. And for me, this is the final rest for this pose. I'm going to place a pillow underneath my head. Some of you may be able to touch your hands together. That depends on how open your shoulders are. That is not an option for me. I'm just going to change positions really quickly so I can face you at the camera and start our timer as well. So we are shoulder stretching on our left side. Main goal of Yin Yoga is to find stillness, comfort, and relaxing. The eyes aren't closed. Just try to close them. Go back inside. What are you feeling? How are your shoulders feeling? Can they relax? How are your hands feeling? Always paying attention as well when you're moving in and out of any yin poses. If you're in a yin pose and you begin to feel tingling or numbness when you're in a yin style pose, that isn't necessarily something that you want to feel. So for you, if you're feeling tingling, numbness in your hand, just try to readjust your hand, maybe inch it down a little bit, or come off of your shoulder and move back in. A lot of times we can just readjust the pose a little bit to get out of those awkward sensations. We have about 5 more breaths. The eyes are open. Try to close the eyes. Try to relax and soften the tension in your face. Have you been able to unclench your jaw through this practice? Are you completely relaxed into your parasympathetic nervous system? And here we have one more breath. Release that breath. Pause the breath. And let's slowly move out of this pose. So remove the block and just press the right palm into the ground so you can lift your body. Unwrap that arm from behind your back in that shoulder stretch. And let's lie in fetal position on your left side. Anything that feels comfortable here. Hands can be together in prayer under your head. You can have your pillow there. Legs can be anywhere they're comfortable. Just try to find stillness. Relax. We have 3 full breaths. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Last breath here. Very good. And from here, let's press ourselves up into a seated position, making our way into tabletop pose. And from your tabletop, coming up on your hands and your knees. I'm just going to set my pillow off to the side. So from this tabletop pose, we'll step our left leg forward in between the hands, and I'm going to call this baby dragon pose. So I'm going to face you so you can see, and if you have something that you can place underneath your knee to support your standing knee. So for baby dragon, hands are on either side of the foot. My leg is right in the middle of my body. So I'm not taking my leg out to the side here. Leg is in the center, and begin to relax forward. Now, this is how it will look from the front. You can begin to relax your head forward if that feels good. And if you have a couple blocks, you can always use a block here. 1 or 2 blocks. You can use 2 books here, whatever feels good, whatever is comfortable. From the side of this pose, I am actually sinking my hip pretty deep into this pose. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always stay up a little bit higher. The idea is we're getting into your right hip flexor and quadricep. You're sinking as low as you can go, relaxing your body. Now, we won't be in this pose for a full 15 breaths. We're only here for about 10 full breaths. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Remember, please, if this becomes too intense on your hip, just lift your pelvis up slightly to take some of the pressure off of your hip flexors. Don't forget that Ujjayi breath as an option. You can always come back into Ujjayi breath to support you. Bring your mind, your thoughts back in to help with the fire that is burning inside your body. Five more breaths, wherever you're at, you can do it. Two more breaths, wherever you're at. Try to find that stillness. Last two breaths. Last breath. As you exhale, slowly lift out. This is the fourth principle of Yin Yoga. Slowly move out. Slide the left foot to meet the right. Tabletop pose. Let's just rock your hips right and left just slightly. Feel the sensation in your pelvis as you're rocking. It's okay. I know that is one of our tougher poses, and I don't always take that one, but I feel like sometimes it's good to get into your hip flexors and quadriceps. So let's go ahead and switch sides. Now I have a cushion that I use under my knee, so I'm moving that, and then I'm stepping my right foot forward, right foot forward. So once again, just to face you guys, foot is in between the hands. If you are up high on the knee, then you can always rest your elbows on your knee. I'm starting the timer, so try to find that edge. Remember, we're getting into your hip flexors, your quadricep of the extended back leg, your front leg, you may be feeling sensation, and your outer pelvis. You may be also feeling some sensation on the inside of your front leg. Where you're at, relax, soften your body. Don't forget the breath. Use it as a tool to help you get through. 3 breaths left. And let's take this last breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly moving out, lift the hips as slow as you can. Slide that right foot back to meet the left. Sitting back, closed leg child pose. Sitting the hips all the way down towards the heels. Arms can be reached out in front of you. Arms can also be alongside your body. Go ahead and relax your head towards the mat. Forehead can come to the mat. Ears right or left. And this is going to be your resonance pose. So this is your pause between poses. This is where we're coming to really get in touch with your body. What are you feeling? Can you feel the energy flow? What sensations do you feel in your hips, your hip flexors? What sensations are you feeling here now in your quadriceps, your outer pelvis? So every area we were just working. What are you feeling in those areas? What sensations? And so what I mean when I say what sensations are you feeling, try to identify. So what does it actually feel like? Does it feel warm or cool? Does it feel like it's tingling or numb? Maybe it doesn't feel like anything at all, almost like it's a void of all sensations. As we move in and out of these poses, we are causing energy to freeze in areas, and then we're causing energy to flow out as we move. So we have meridians that run up and down our body. They move into our organs. They move from our feet, the tips of our fingers, up into our organs, into our head. So as we have these meridians, we're causing the energy to flow. So we're helping the energy to release, because energy does get stuck in our bodies. Just like energy can get stuck anywhere, it also can get stuck in our bodies. So this practice should help that energy to release and go back and flow naturally into our body. Now, when you're ready, we'll meet back in tabletop pose. So taking tabletop, shoulders in line with the wrists. Let's take some cat-cow. So we'll pause in neutral. If you already know where you're going with cat-cows, go ahead and just do it. Try to close your eyes. Try to see and feel what your body wants to feel. Just allow your body to naturally do what it wants. If you're not familiar with a cat-cow, when we inhale, our head rises, our tailbone rises, our stomach drops down towards the mat. As we exhale, we'll round, pressing into the mat, the spine rounds, almost as though you're tucking the tailbone. And then we reverse again, inhaling, the head comes up, the tailbone rises. When we exhale, we reverse that. So taking these as your body wants to take them, what feels good for you. Allow a full inhale and a full exhale, moving with every breath. Pause the breath at the top. Pause the breath at the bottom. Notice the stillness and the peace in that pause. Coming to neutral spine. Just take one more breath in neutral spine. Next, we'll move into your sleeping swan, also known as your pigeon pose. So with sleeping swan or pigeon, I'm doing my left leg first. Do whatever leg you want to do. I'm doing left leg. So my left knee comes to my left wrist. I start to walk my right leg back towards the back. The heel of my left foot ends up in front of my right leg. So it's crossed across my body. Then I begin to lay over top or fold over the leg. So swan pose is when your chest is lifting, gaze forward. Sleeping swan is when you're folding over that leg. So because we are holding this pose for such a long period of time, being a yin pose, I like to take a more relaxed version. I have a pillow that I like to place underneath my head. So there's a lot of options that you can take here. If knowing that we'll be here for about 5 minutes, which is 25 breaths. So 5 minutes per side. I've already started the timer. So just remember that when you're coming into this pose, how deep do you want to go when you first come into the pose? So I'm actually going to open up my right leg just a little bit so the inside of my knee is on the mat. And I'm on the outside of my hip. So here I'm actually going to face you so you can also see what I'm doing from the front. So I'm actually lying over on my left leg just a little bit. The inside of my right leg is on the mat. And then I fold over my pillow. Now, just depending on who you are and how your body's shaped, some people may like to also place a pillow underneath the folded leg, the folded front leg. You can place a pillow underneath the hip. Sometimes that feels good for some people. So you have a lot of time to play with this pose, doing whatever you want to do. Prop as many props as you want. You can place pillows all over your body if that feels better. It really just depends on how deep do you want to go in this pose. Always also pay attention to that back knee. Well, if you're practicing at home, depending on what your floor is made out of, my floor, for example, is concrete, painted concrete. It's pretty hard on my knee. And that's why I have an extra cushion that I like to place under my knee while I'm practicing here. But if you have carpet, if you're on carpet, you might not need a cushion under your knee. So just be aware, wherever you're at, if you have pain in that knee, you can always fold your toes under, and that will take, for any pose really throughout Yin, that does take some of the pressure off of that knee. So that is when your leg is extended actually out behind your body. You can fold the toes under. You can even do that in a low runner's lunge if it helps your knee. And you may have noticed tonight that I called a lot of the poses by different names. If you come to my Yin classes regularly, you may know that I call things by different names. But the reason we do that in the Yin world a lot of times is, even though we're taking the same pose, it's good to know when you're taking a Yin version or a Yang version of the pose. Because what a Yin version means is that you may be there longer. So if you hear me in a regular class say I'm going to be taking Sleeping Swan, then you know that we're going to be holding that pose for at least 3 minutes. If I call that pose Pigeon Pose in a class, and I might only be there for a shorter period of time, maybe 1 minute or 5 breaths. And we have about 7 more breaths. So for these last 7 breaths, let's bring your attention, your thoughts into your outer pelvis of the leg that is front and center. So the leg that's folded under your body. What sensations are you feeling in that pelvis? And just try to relax it. So that pelvis, that hip, we are working the fascia that's surrounding that pelvis. You have 3 more breaths. And this is your last breath. Really fully allow that exhale to happen. Pausing at the bottom of that exhale before you move. Find that stillness. And let's move slowly, pressing through the hands. Lift your body up, tabletop pose. Moving slowly. So that's that fourth principle. Moving in and out of the poses slow. Once you find tabletop, rock the hips right and left. Release the pelvis. Maybe even doing little hip circles where you lower your hips down and come back up. Breathe into this. Moving slow. Finally meeting back in tabletop. If you'd like to take those cat cows just because they feel so good, taking those cat cows. Remember, as you inhale, your head rises. And then as you exhale, you round the spine. Just pausing for one more breath, whatever you're doing. After you release the air, the opposite leg steps forward for me. That's my right knee to right wrist. I start to inch my right heel in front of my left foot. Slide the back leg back. Finding that perfect place with your pelvis. I'm going to go ahead and start our timer now. Remember, here we are working our hips. What feels good? Do you want to take that version where you actually are lying on the outside of your thigh a little bit? Do you want to place a pillow underneath of you or even under your hip? Wherever you're at, just find that comfortable spot for you, for your body. Maybe you have 5 pillows. That's okay. Nobody can see you. Do what feels good. So remember, after you find that edge, that depth, try to find your stillness. Here we're relaxing the outer pelvis, we're relaxing the inner thighs. And just notice, reflecting here, what side felt tighter, what side feels lighter. This is definitely my tighter side. And maybe it just feels that way. Maybe it just feels that way because I was so relaxed into the other side. Whatever you're feeling, that's perfectly fine, and that is perfect for your body. Just trying not to put any judgments to that. Just be here with yourself, with us. We're about halfway through. Go deeper. Beginning to notice your thoughts again. Where are they? Are they in your body? Are they in this room? Are they in this present moment? Just be here with yourself. Notice how you feel. We have 3 breaths left. Let's take these last 3 breaths together. Inhale. Exhale, nose, mouth, whatever feels good, release. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last breath. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And with your next breath, slowly move out. 4th principle, move out slow. Sliding into that tabletop pose. Just doing what feels good. What is your body telling you to do to release, to relax? Maybe for you, pressing into your down dog feels better than anything, and that's okay. Do that. Breathe. Make your way into your final resting pose, your corpse pose. So anything you would like to do here for this final resting pose. So a lot of times I'd suggest for people in their final resting pose, especially when I'm going to be guiding through a meditation, is to place something under the knees. So if you have a bolster or a pillow, if you'd like to use your child, your dog, whatever you have, go ahead and do that. We even place a pillow behind your head. Let the legs open wide. Let the knees even open a little bit. Let the arms be wide. Take a breath. Release it. Just begin to settle in. You can choose to take this meditation seated if you would like. Doing whatever feels good. Just begin to relax. And we'll take some breaths together. And we'll do that same breath work we did at the beginning. Just imagine as you are breathing in, the air is coming all the way down to your pelvis. Let's take a breath together. We'll exhale all the air out. So release the air out of the mouth. Slowly inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh the breath out, release. Now we'll come into that same breath, that 5-part breath. Inhale, think pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown. We're going to flush it all as we breathe. Release that breath. Inhale, pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown. Release the breath. Inhale, pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown, release. Inhale, pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown, release. Inhale, visualize pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, top of the head, crown, release. Inhale, pelvis, tummy, heart, throat, crown, and release. And with the eyes closed, maybe even placing a cloth or something over the eyes to make yourself completely in a dark space. If you have music on, you may want to turn it off. For the last 10 minutes here, I'll be guiding you through a meditation. So whatever you need to do to fully be able to relax and try to take a visual journey with me. A journey of sensation in the body, a journey of visualization behind your mind's eye. So coming back into your natural breath. Feel your body as your breath moves. Maybe feel your tummy rise up as your diaphragm presses through. Maybe feeling your chest as it moves up and down with every breath. Can you feel your throat? Does it move as you breathe? Bring your attention to your heart. And can you feel your heart beat? And can you feel your heart beat in any other part of your body? Maybe your wrists or your neck. The soles of your feet or the palms of your hand. Paying attention, close attention to how do you feel and what sensations are coursing through your body. Maybe it feels as though you're floating gently off the mat, as though there's a space between you and the ground below you. Almost as though you're flying. Take your thoughts now, your body, your mind, and imagine you're in an open, grassy field. The sun is shining. There's no clouds in the sky. Notice the energy that you feel coming from the sunshine and from Mother Earth as you sit on her soils. Maybe imagine you're taking your bare hands and touching the grass beneath your body. Feeling that energy as it penetrates your fingertips. Moving up into your body, sharing your energy with hers. And as the sun shines down upon your face, the top of your head, imagine that brilliant, bright light shining down into your soul. Moving from the top of your head, flushing down your chakra center. Replenishing your energy, flushing out anything unwanted. Giving you connection with the earth, with the planet, with the universe, the divine. Notice the clean air filling your lungs. As that oxygen fills your lungs, it fills your body, every cell, flushing out anything in there unwanted, cleansing you completely. Breathe in that clean air. And just visualize now placing the soles of your feet on that grassy green knoll. Just imagine your feet are bare. So as you place the soles of your feet on that earth, feel the sensation of the grass in between your toes. Placing your hands now, let your hands, the soles or the palms of your hand, brush gently, lightly across the grass, just almost as though you're running your fingers through it. Notice how it feels as it tickles your palms. Notice the smells that you smell here. Not only smelling the fresh sunshine, but notice the smells, the aromas of the flowers, the plants around you, the earth. Hear the sound of the trees around this vast field. And hear the wind blowing through the leaves. Hear the wind blowing and moving the grass around your body. And you can almost taste the sweetness in the air, the moisture. You can feel it on your skin. And as you lie here or sit here in this cool air, feeling that cool breeze brush across your face, your arms, your legs. Notice the sun as it's in the sky. The pleasantness of that warm sunshine brushing against your skin, heating you from within. And imagine this place, this safe place, is here for you always, whenever you may need it. Always just close your eyes and bring yourself back here. So just imagine this place, Mother Earth, trees, the sun, giving you a warm hug. And begin to bring your awareness back into the room, back into the place where you are at home. You can always continue to lie here for a little bit longer if you choose to. Maybe some of you are sleeping, and that's also perfectly fine. I always encourage that. Just allowing your body to take whatever it needs, and it will take what it needs. It knows what it needs. But as these few days move on and we are here at home, just try to share your practice with somebody, whether it's somebody at home, your animals, your loved ones, or even if it's on here on Zoom. Don't feel like you have to keep anything inside. Find somebody to talk to. And just know that we're all going through this together, and we'll always be here for one another. Just try to give kind thoughts to anybody you know that needs it. Maybe somebody that's struggling. And keep that in mind as well. If we're cooped up at home, or some of us are still working, that you might find that you get irritated or agitated at somebody pretty easily, and maybe they feel the same way in return. But we're all going through something. So instead of getting angry at that person that's aggravating you, you just try to send them some love, as hard as that can be sometimes. And as always, go outside if you can. At least try to go outside once a day. Let your bare feet touch the earth. Try to replenish your energy. Fill yourself up. Feel the sun on your face, the air on your skin. And I want to thank you all for joining me for class. And just also remember, as you're moving through these next few weeks, if there's a teacher that you've never taken one of their classes before, if you have the time to do it, maybe just explore that a little bit. It's always great to take yoga by different people. So everybody has a different message, and you may learn something that's really valuable from somebody. If you would like to take your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, placing the thumbs in the center of your chest and your heart. Maybe placing a little gap in between your palms. Imagine a ray of light there, a warming sensation. Close the eyes. I want to thank you all so much for coming and joining me today. The divine in me honors and cherishes the divine in all of you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, just remember that if you want more Yin, there's more Restorative Yin Saturday. And if you follow me on Facebook, I have some postings there. If you follow Kula, I'll be posting the event there as well. I think it's already in there, but if you're looking for that, that's there. And yeah, if you ever have any suggestions or comments, or if you come to these Yin classes regularly and you want something in particular, just shoot me a message, or I try to post regularly on my Facebook now. So if you are in need of something in particular, just let me know and I'll throw that into the class. Okay, thank you all so much. Namaste, namaste. Let's see, I see some chats in there.
Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful job.
Namaste, Jamie. Thank you.
Good. I see that somebody likes the dragon post.
Thank you, Jamie.
Hi. Oh, you guys are awesome.